Hey, you guys, happy Wednesday to you. I hope you're doing so good. I wanted to take a quick minute and sort of preview this episode for a second. I don't do my typical, hey, welcome to Stylist intro here because honestly, Demetric and I got so lost in conversation. We've been friends for a long time that we were just having fun and I totally spaced. I think at one point I say I'm going to intro the episode and I didn't. So I didn't want this episode though to be without an intro to you guys. I just once again want to say thank you for listening. Welcome to Stylist. I think you're really going to love this episode. Demetric is technical. He gets into the nitty gritty of food styling, but he is also hilarious. He has great stories. I think you're going to laugh and just enjoy this episode so much. So without further ado, welcome to Stylist episode number 6, Demetric Brown.
Yeah.
Hello.
Much better.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
Good. I like your background. That looks awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a 3-part painting that a good friend of mine owns. Fortunately, it's about to leave.
That's amazing. So he painted that or he owns it?
Owns it. Owns it.
Okay, dang.
Yep. Yep.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. How is life for you? What are you
Life
up
has been
to?
grand. Life has been grand. I mean, I can't complain. I've been busy. I've been able to knock out a number of long-term things I've been need to take care of, like full knee replacement on my left knee.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
able to get that done.
Did that?
Yeah, well, I did it last year in July, and I'm pretty much fully recovered as of now. But it's been a long time coming, and God knows I feel so much better afterwards.
Jeez, that I have such mad respect for that, Dimitri, because I just sprained my LCL in my right knee a little while ago.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so painful. And I went into the urgent care like it's torn. Like it's, and
Oh,
she's
no.
like, no, it's not torn. There's a lot of inflammation, but you're fine. Like x-rays are fine. I just was thinking, like I had both my kids naturally. So I have a kind of a high pain tolerance, but
right.
the knee pain, I have such compassion for that. That is just mad, crazy hard. So good for you.
I can say that it was probably the most pain I've ever gone through. And I played American football and a number of other sports, since I was age 6 up until about 22. So,
yeah,
like you, the pain thresholds there. But man, this was by far the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And it's just an ongoing thing. I mean, every day gets just a little bit better, but 3 months is 3 months,
Woof. Are you in like PT and all that with it?
The same day that I got the surgery, they wanted me up and walking. Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, you do realize you just cut on me, right? And they want me up and walking. And they're like, yes, immediately. I'm going to rehab the following day, and they're just like,
dang.
But they got it so streamlined now that it's just an everyday occurrence. It's an outpatient procedure.
Yeah. Wow. So they're like, cut, see ya. Now you gotta stand up.
Zip, zip, zip. You're done. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, I don't think anyone understands endurance like a food stylist does, because like the things and we'll intro in a second, but like the things that we endure physically, like on set from clients and stuff, like, it's tough. If a food stylist is like, this was painful, you're like, okay, yeah, that was definitely painful.
Yeah. I've seen my fair share of it. I mean, hell, you've been on a few with me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you, Demetric. Like,
oh my goodness, Callie, I can't believe this. You have great hair.
I do, dude. Can you see it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's been that long?
I'm turning 40, dude. It's been a minute. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Life has been sweet. I mean, I have 2 boys, 5 and 2.5, and they are wild and kicking my hiney every day because they're jumping off like we went to Costco yesterday, and my 2-year-old has climbed onto like the cement, like, there's like columns outside of Costco, like the cement borders, and he's trying to jump from the border like into the cart. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, do you have kids? I can't remember. Do you have kids?
I have adults. I have adults now, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's par for the course with boys. I mean, the thing is that we get worse before we get better.
Yeah.
And the difference between men and boys is the price of their toys. So that's all. But everything else is still the same.
I will tell you, I was told Jake the other day, like, because my boys are obsessed with Hot Wheels. They love cars. They
Yeah.
love anything that has to do with Hot Wheels. And so we'll go to the Hot Wheels aisle like every time we're at Target. They always want to look. And I'm like, the Hot Wheels aisle is the only place where I still see adult men and they're looking at Hot Wheels. Like, you don't ever see an adult woman looking at Barbies. Like, they're like, done that, been there. Dudes are still in there, like, dads are like looking
Yeah.
through. So funny.
Guilty as charged.
That's so amazing. Well,
Absolutely.
I'm just beyond thrilled to have you on, and I'll say this in a second when I intro, but like when I was thinking about the stylist I wanted to feature, you were like at the top tier of my list.
Thank
And
you.
I was a little hesitant to reach out because A, you're so incredibly talented and precise and just awesome. And I was like a little bit like I asked Lauren first. I was like, "Do you think you'd want to do it?" Because like,
Oh,
I
come
don't want
on,
to reach
Kelly,
out
really?
because he's so busy and he's so good. And she's like, "Yeah, oh my gosh, of course he would." So I'm so
Yeah.
thrilled that you said yes.
Yeah, giving back is one of the major things that my company does. We try to do it as much as possible because, I mean, especially with internships and stuff of that nature. Because when I was coming up in the industry, it was really tough to get my foot in the door, and I wasn't
Mhm,
asking for people to do me favors, anything of that nature. I just needed an opportunity. I'll make my own way from there.
mhm,
But it's one of those things where I had to learn while coming up in the industry that the good things and the bad things not to do. And one of the good things I learned was be able to pick up as much as you can, ask as many questions as you want. The One of the bad things I picked up that I promised I wouldn't do is
mhm,
not keep all of this to myself. And that's one thing
mhm.
that I will say some of us food stylists have a tendency to do is we tend to want to latch on and not tell our secrets, what have you. And I'm like, it's really not a secret. It's it's just a hack.
Come on,
And
come
a
on.
lot of times I understand why is because they feel like they're diluting the work pool, and that means less work. But my thing is if you're good enough, what are you worried about?
Mhm,
The jobs are going to keep coming to you. And I mean, I haven't lost any, but I try to mentor as many people as possible because I just feel like the one big thing that I noticed is it wasn't that African Americans were not supposed to be in this industry. It's just we didn't know it was an industry. We had no exposure to it. And once I found out, I'm like, okay, guess what? Once I get really good at this, I'm going to do something that a lot of us don't do. I'm going to make sure that I let enough people know, a lot of people know, hey, man, there's another avenue as far as food is concerned you can go into. One of the most paranoid things I had was I've been a lifetime chef and restaurateur. And so from the age of 15 up until 44, 45, I've been in a restaurant. I've done everything I wanted to do in the restaurant. But I was afraid of being that old guy in the restaurant. And I knew I never wanted to own one because I've lived in it and I know what it takes to own one. And yeah, that's not a life.
mhm.
However, I still have passion for food. So I turned to food style. And I've been able to continue and keep my passion going along with, experiencing new and different things and meeting great people such as yourself.
Oh man. I want to hear all about this Dimitri because like one of the things I love about you, and I'm just going to tell a quick story about Dimitri because there's so many things to love about him. Like I have experience with him on set, so I can say firsthand one of my favorite things about him is his positivity. There has never been a challenge I have ever seen him encounter that he could not overcome, and he did not face with a smile. Like his positivity is contagious, and I love that about him. But I'm going to tell a story about Dimitri that think speaks so highly to his character and his technical skill. I distinctly remember one time Dimitri. So Dimitri and I go way back. We used to work together at it used to be Time Warner Digital Film
Yeah.
Studios. Now it's like Hoffman. Then it was
I don't
Dot
know what it
Dash,
is
I
now.
think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
changed the
but
name like 3 or 4 times.
dude, but we used to hustle there because when we were working back there, like the days were long. We had a ton of shots to capture. Like it was really hard work. And I remember one recipe we were doing, and this was for video food styling part of the day. And I can't remember if it was for Bon Appetit or Food or Wine, but it involved like basically deconstructing a whole fish. And we were in the kitchen, and I was like, I don't remember who my sister was, but I was like, hey, do you know how to like deconstruct whole fish? And she was like, no. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And then Demetrius walks in and he's straight up holding the fish and he's like, got this. And he like plops it down on the counter. He's just filleting like a surgeon, just getting it ready. And he saved the whole shoot. So like your technical skill, Demetric, is outstanding. And but I want you to tell me about that. How did you develop that? And then how do you use that like with food styling now?
Well, I will say that I have a leg up on some of the competition because food has been my passion since the age of about 9 years old. And
Wow.
I figured out I wanted to be a chef at that tender age and kind of been stuck on stupid ever since. I think I've had like 2 or 3 jobs out of the restaurant industry my entire
Wow.
life. So
Wow.
I grew up in the industry, and the one thing that it allowed me to do was learn the science of food, the technical
Mhm.
parts of it, how to deconstruct, break down stuff, knowing about the chemical processes that go into cooking, what chemicals affect whether it be foliage or meats or what have you, and basically knowing the science of food. And that part has given me a leg up, and it helps me to be able to understand how to make food, last a long time, especially under the heat lamps that we normally have in the shoot itself. Along with that, food has always been my passion. Even when I wasn't on the clock, I'm always searching, looking for something new and different. Kind of wanted to be that chef that tasted every type of food in the world, but
Yeah, come
virtually
on.
impossible.
I bet you have at this point. Do you think you have?
No, no. There's still a ton out there I need to be able to learn as well. But
Yeah.
I like to engulf myself in multiple types of cuisines or what have you. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it was my passion that led me to the food industry. It was a friend of mine that led me to the actual food styling aspect
Yeah,
of it.
tell me about that, Demetric. What's that story like? I haven't heard that from you.
Well, the food, me finding the food styling
Food
there.
styling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what happens is kind of a long story, but I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes version here. Uh,
Yeah.
my father, he had 3 kids, well, 4 kids actually, and all all three of my siblings went to college and got degrees, but
Mhm.
I came out of high school and I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a chef, and I immediately immersed myself
Mhm.
into the food world, and I just grew up in the industry. So by the age of 45, hearing my dad for 30 years saying, "Hey, when you gonna get your degree? When you gonna get your degree?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna get a degree, Dad, but
Yeah.
I'm the one that's the most successful out of all three of your kids, and all three other 3 kids have degrees. All 4 of
Mhm.
your kids and all the other 3 kids have degrees. But
Mhm.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna shut him up. So I finally decided, yeah, I've got some money saved up. I'm gonna go to culinary school just to get a degree, just
Mm.
to say, look, I sat down and you really sacrificed and to get the actual degree of something I made a living off of. I raised children off of. I lived a wonderful life. So in the process of getting that degree, I met what is now one of my best friends. Her name is Sean Chavis. I met her, and she was one of my professors for food history. And come to
Mm.
find out, she was one of the editors at Timing Food Studios back in the days. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and she had a conference call with Robert Brzezinski with regards to, just telling us about the industry itself. And I started picking her brain. I'm like, you got to tell
Mhm.
me how this works. I need to you show me this, and who do I need to contact? And
Mhm.
she said, I got you one better, Dimitri. She actually took me to the studio and she introduced me to what is now one of my best friends as well, Ian Bagwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he took me on a tour of the whole studio. And you talk about kid in a candy store. I mean, my eyes were so big, they were popping out of my head. And I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get my foot in here. And
Yeah.
almost a year to the day, I started interning there as an assistant.
Mm.
And again, all I needed was that opportunity. And I've just been plugging away ever since.
Yeah. Because that's the thing about you, Dimitri. You shine. Like wherever you are a standout personality and a standout human.
Well, thank
I
you.
can't
Thank you
tell
so much.
you, oh man, I can't tell you how many times I was there styling and I would need something and it was not Dimitri's job to assist me. Like he was lead styling somewhere else. And before I knew it, he brought it to me. And
Yeah.
that's just who you are. Like you're just such a team player and you're just so aware of like, I always, when I interview people, I like to think about words or phrases that come to me about them that I like want to ask them about. And I feel like one little phrase that came to me about you is people first. I feel like you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you always keep people and relationships and those people around you in mind. And I want you to tell, and I think that might be part of why you have been so successful is you're so kind and generous with people. And I also was looking at you on Instagram and I saw that you have a team now, which again, it's been a minute since I've talked to you. So I want you to tell me about your team and how you develop that, but also how you work relationships in this industry and how you've maintained them. Because, like you said, Ian's one of your best friends. Like, he is such a cool person to know in this field. So just tell me all about that relational world for you.
Well, industry for so long. Basically, working in the industry teaches you a lot. It teaches you, number one, how to work on a high pressure situation, be able to think
Mm-hmm.
through through the process, and
Mm-hmm.
then also it helps you to be a good team player and formulate a good team.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I have learned is you're only as strong as the team around you, or your weakest link for that matter. But I find that if you invest your time into your crew, into your people, what have you, you'd be amazed what you can accomplish. Not only that, but never ever denounce or deny anybody, because you never know who you're going to be working for next.
Come
And
on, that is such, I'm putting that in the
yeah,
show notes. That is such a good word. Yes,
absolutely,
you never know
absolutely,
who's listening.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so, with that being said, I just really, am into investing into people, because that's truly what it all boils down to. And not only
Mhm.
that, but if you invest enough into something, you'll start reaping the rewards. And what I did was I invested into a team. And guess what? It's to a point now that, a lot of the nuances of my job that I used to do, I don't really don't do anymore. Like, I know I'm not very good at the administrative part. I can
Sure.
recognize it. And guess what?
Mhm.
I got my first assistant. And I was like, look, if you could take care of this for me, that would give me an opportunity to focus on that. And it's been able to help me grow with it, with doing that. It allows me to be able to focus on what makes me shine and put the
Mhm.
people that shine in their right places as well. And in
Mhm.
doing so, it's helped us gain a lot more confidence. We have a great synergy of working together. And for lack of better words, you want to be around people you can work, have a great time with. I mean, we're not curing cancer. We're not solving the world deficit. We're playing with food, guys.
100%. And I will say for me too, personally, I would love for us to talk about building a team really quick.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, my ability to tackle the bigger commercial clients that I wanted to, the Carl's Jr., the Hardys, the Captain D's, whatever that I wanted to capture shifted when I realized I have to have a great team. And I even remember one of our friends, Bree Williams, talking to her years ago, and there was a shoot coming up for Logan's, and I was like, Bree, they've asked me about it. Do you think I can do it? She was like, I'll be honest with you. I think that you have what it takes, but you don't have the team that you need. And
Wow.
so she
Wow.
straight up was like, until you develop that team, you can't go where you want to go. And I was
Yeah.
like, I needed that. Like, I needed her to tell me that because I was trying to be this lone wolf, this like,
Yeah.
hustle, gonna do it. But exactly the wisdom, like you said, you're only as strong as your team. So tell me about how you knew he was right for your team, Dimitri, and how you could tell, like, how do you know someone's strength and how do you know that they'll be a good fit for you?
Well, just like anything else, you really won't know until you actually apply, or put application to it. And a lot of times, I mean, I get a ton of people emailing me, calling me, asking me, "Hey,
Mhm.
you got any jobs want to assist on, or what have you?" And
Cool.
so it's nice to get that, but I need to find those people that are hungry. And I open up the door, I give a consultation just to see where they are, and try to point them in the right direction of where they
Mhm.
want to go. Try to get them on set as much as I can, but I'm looking for those people that are hungry,
Mhm.
who are not just here for the statue of, oh, that looks cool. No, I need people that are going to invest the time and be able to give me an opportunity to show them how to be successful at this job.
Mhm.
A lot of times you don't know until you actually get them into their position, or get them in a position and see where their strengths are and where their strengths aren't. But I
Mhm.
kind of lay down some of the things I require, and anticipation of the next move, being able to really study the script, study the shots, and be able to anticipate what's going to be coming up next, so that when those shots are here, we're not scrambling around. This stuff is already mise en place out, or separated, deconstructed. So all I have to do is
Right.
just put it together and sprinkle some fairy dust on it. Make it look good.
That's right.
Yeah,
Sell it a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me about, okay, so this is what I love about Dimitri. So when you guys go on his website, you will see some epic shots. Like when I was looking at your site, Dimitri, that shot of the octopus with the light over it,
Yeah.
holy AT double hockey sticks. Like, how did you capture that? And did your team help you with that? Was that just you and Ian? I want to hear all about that shot.
I think that shot was just shoot was just Ian and myself.
Okay.
Basically, it was just a test shoot we were doing, and we were just we had a few days to play around, and I'm like, you know what, dude, I got some octopus in the freezer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a big old bucket, And what I did was I let the bucket freeze halfway with water, and
Uh-huh.
and then after that, I brought the octopus in, filled the rest of it way up with water, and I used skewers to kind of have the tentacles go in certain ways so that when it froze up, it would be frozen, kind of in a state of swimming. That didn't happen, so
Dude, because I'm just thinking in my head, like, how are you gonna? So you had the bucket half
yeah.
full of water to kind of create the ice, and then you let it melt, and then you put the octopus on top, and then kind of refroze water around it. Is that what you're saying?
You were actually, it's like a third of the bucket was filled with ice,
Okay,
and that was
okay,
just so it had a base. And then I filled the
yeah,
rest of it up with ice once that third of the bucket froze. And then
okay,
I took skewers and I kind of tied fishing twine to the
yeah,
tentacles,
yeah,
and I had them kind of sitting like on the top of the bucket in certain directions where the tentacles would be standing up until it give it the look that it's swimming in motion but got
sure,
frozen in time.
yeah,
So
wow,
I did that, froze it for a couple of days, and when we
mm.
pulled it out and got ready for set, come to find out the inside was still not. I mean, it's still still liquefied. So by the
Dude.
time we got it out and got it on set, it seeped out of one of the holes. Next thing you know, pew, and so we were like, okay, let's rethink
Ah,
this.
yeah,
And the
go
shot
back.
you had, the shot you see now is what we came up with.
Shoot, dude, it is stunning. I mean, like I was showing my husband that, and he was like, "What? Like that is art." And that is so much of your amazing brain too, Dimitri. I feel like you have the ability to create these epic shots. And so I want to hear from you. Tell me some wild stories. Like, what are some crazy things you've done on set that exceeded your expectations or how cool they were? Tell me about your favorite, some of your favorite moments, because you've done so many amazing things. I just want to hear some of your top tier favorites.
Well, I've got one story that probably will run the gamut of everything from comedy to fear,
Yes.
frightened to, uh, oh my God, thank God, into it,
Nerves of steel.
ultimate success in the end. But this was my actual very first commercial shoot, and this was for Sprite. This was a
Okay.
Sprite cranberry, and this was a campaign for the year. So
Whoa.
they were doing
Okay.
like summer stuff, spring stuff, fall, Christmas. So I had like I
Okay.
think 3 or 4 different food spreads,
Mhm.
but a ton of drink shots, bottle shots. Well, the it starts off with maybe the night before. I'm pretty much, it's my first shoot, and I'm just doing everything I can to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I'm just like counting, recounting, repacking, unpacking, repacking again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's down to where I got my shirt on, I got my socks laid out. I mean, shoes sitting at the door,
You're ready.
key. Yeah, yeah. And so all I have to do is just wake up, go through the motions, and I'm out. I go
Mhm. Uh-huh.
I'm out.
Uh-huh.
I apologize.
No worries at all.
Yeah, and out I go. Well, the morning came, and I went through the motion, and I'm a little sleepy, but I'm fine. I rented a van the night before, and I got all the Sprite product, all my food, everything in there,
Mm.
ready to go. So I'm getting on the elevator of the condo, going downstairs, and I realize I left something in the house.
Yeah.
So with my hand that has the keys in it, I grab the elevator door, and when I do so, the keys slip out of my hands. And you know that space in between the floor and the elevator, that shaft
Yes.
part? Okay. The key didn't like hit the ground and fall in or like, hitting the T, but it fell straight through like,
Oh
and mind you, I'm still
no.
a little sleepy, right? So I'm looking down like, blink, blink. Did that just happen? Blink, blink. That
Oh.
didn't just happen. And then I hear that faint sound of clink. And it's when it hits the floor in the bottom of the shaft. Oh my goodness, I start filth filing, fifth and filing. I'm mad and I'm just cussing. Oh man, I know my neighbors were like, "What is going on?" Yeah.
Yeah, like what is happening? Is this man dying? What's happening?
uh, so I got the keys to my car and I took whatever products I had and I ran to set, which luckily was only 15 minutes away from my location.
Okay, good.
And I was able to at least get my crew there and get them set up and everything. And had my friend come and get the maintenance crew to actually extract the keys from the elevator shaft itself. So I was able to drive back, get the product, get it there on time. Shoot went on without a
Dang,
success.
dude.
I mean,
Oh,
shoot went
that
on
is,
as a success, but I was freaking out. I mean,
dude. Oh, I can't even
oh,
imagine because you have like So much adrenaline's going, so much anticipation about the shoot. This is
Yeah.
the like the first big shot, like trying to nail
I thought it
it.
was gonna be my first and last.
Yeah. I have had some shoots like that where I'm like, this is the first time I'm working with this client. This may be the last because I remember one. It is not as dramatic as your story because we've been doing this for a minute now, but
Yeah, yeah.
this was like probably about 6 months ago, and I was getting ready to leave, and a lot of times Jake and I will switch cars, and
Uh-huh.
so he'll take because we have two boys, so like he does school pickup in the car with the car seats, and I'll take his car, and
Right, right.
I had gotten like a lot of stuff ready the night before, so I had about a 30-minute window where I could like make myself a cup of coffee and have some time just to chill before like I hit the road and go. And it's about 1 minute before I'm supposed to leave, and I'm go to grab his car keys, and they weren't like where they usually are.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, okay, well, like it's fine. Maybe they're like upstairs, or like maybe in his pants pocket or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So I'm like kind of starting to shuffle through clothes. They're not in the pants pocket. Like they're not the other place where he normally leaves them. The tile on the key like had run out of battery. We don't have an
Mhm.
extra set of keys for his car. So now I'm starting to panic. And I'm like, okay, like where are the keys? Where are the keys? And I start praying. I'm like, Lord Jesus, please show me where the keys are. I'm going through, and they ended up I was like probably 15 minutes late, which it could have been so much worse. But
Yes.
in our
Yeah,
industry, like if you're late, like if you're on time, you're late. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you want
yeah,
to
yeah,
get there
yeah.
like ample time and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was awful. The keys ended up being like in one of my jackets that I had worn. It was an insane story. But that feeling is the absolute worst, friend. Oh my
Uh, I
gosh.
mean that pit in your stomach. I mean, and there's
Oh,
everything worse is going through your head right now. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so impressed the maintenance crew got your key. Like, how did they get them? They just went to the bottom of the elevator shaft,
I
I
mean, there
guess,
was
or
a
like,
door. There's a door where the maintenance goes in to do
oh,
service on
okay.
the shaft itself, and they were able to find it. But luckily it was not too early in the morning that they were coming in pretty much after I was leaving. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I got lucky on some parts, but I just did not understand why that was happening. I'm like, I did everything right. I was not prepared for that parameter at
Yes.
all.
Oh, dude, it happens. The grace of God that we get places sometimes. I'm like, thank you, Lord, that you took care of me.
Yeah, yeah. There's a many times I've been like, hey man, appreciate you.
Yes, so for sure. Glory to God for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me about your favorite project you've ever worked on. What's been one of your favorites?
Ah,
Do you have one?
Kylie, there's been so many that
I
I've worked
know.
on.
You're so accomplished.
I will say my first test shoot I did with a crew in Lakeland, Florida, and we were
Mhm.
just, messing around because we wanted to, they had some high speed red cameras that were doing like, I
Cool.
think 2,500 frames per second, what have you. And we
Wow.
were just doing all these motion shots. So I'm like, you know what? I'm fit to do some cool stuff. I was able to take this huge knife and be able to slice through a pineapple and show that slow motion,
Yeah.
dropping blue crabs in the water and just seeing that little splash and bubbles and then move around. It
Cool.
was just so much fun. I had my daughter on set with me, so she got to see a lot, and she was
Oh.
able to participate in it as well. She was able to do like honey pools and stuff of that nature.
Ah,
That was one of them.
cool.
Um, yeah, Cali, that's been so many. And for lack of better words, most of my
Mm.
shoots are fun. The ones that
Yeah.
aren't technically just a pain in the butt, or you got too many people in the way. Um,
Mhm.
it's just the fact of me being on set. That's the most fun I have because that's where I
Mhm.
get to be a kid in the candy store, get to play with food. All this administrative stuff, all these meetings, or yeah, y'all can have all that stuff, man. I
Yeah.
just give me the meat. Let me go.
What do you think makes it so fun for you? Why do you think you feel like a kid in a candy store?
Because I've had this passion to learn about food since a child.
Mhm.
And the one thing that being in the restaurants didn't let me do is never let me sit and really perfect dishes because we're pumping out,
Mhm.
100, 250, 300 plates, and we got to get them out now. So it's all about, time consumption, and being efficient as possible. So you try to perfect it as best you can, but out
Mhm.
of all of those 200 plates, you're not going to be able to do it all. And I love playing with and learning about new and different foods. I love, when something comes along that I've never seen or played with before. Oh my God, yes. Give me about 12 of those. Let me sit there and just have as much fun as I can. Now, it's a mental thing. I've been stuck on stupid when it comes to food. And I
Yeah.
just, I treasure the moments I get to play with food.
I love that passion.
Yeah.
What is like your current favorite new food you've discovered? Is there like a favorite new product or food you're really into?
Uh, I've been going into the vegetarian cuisine as of late.
Mm,
Only
cool.
the only reason being is because I never been a fan of vegetarian food, mainly
Mhm.
because it was, really either it was one of the extreme or the other. It was, the one extreme is, you were strictly vegan or these
Mm.
foods that just really just hodgepodge and just vegetables together, which
Mhm.
okay, it's veggies. And then the other extreme is you're taking vegetable foods and try to make meats out or make meat
Mhm.
make it look like meat. And I'm like, no,
Mhm.
you're a vegetarian, eat vegetables. You know. Now you got this vegan hot dog. No, it's a carrot.
Right. No, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That was Jake and I would always be like, if they really wanted a hot dog that bad, would they be a vegetarian? Like, shouldn't
No,
they eat the hot,
no,
you know what I mean?
no.
Yeah.
Oh, like they use oyster mushrooms for fried chicken wings, which are very good, by the way.
Right.
But
Right.
just call them fried mushrooms. There's
Yeah.
no problem with that.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm always dabbling to something. As far as fun is concerned, as long as it's food, I'm having fun. Yeah,
Dude, I love that so much about you. You can tell, like when you're on set with you, like it is fun. It is life. Like
it's
it's
supposed to
so
be.
great.
It's supposed
It's
to be. What are we doing here?
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're not fixing the roof in the middle of July, are we? We're not go.
Hopefully not.
We're not
Hopefully
shipping
not.
off the war or nothing, right?
Right. Though I wouldn't be surprised if somebody asked us to shoot on a roof sometime. Like, could you literally fry an egg on the sidewalk of a roof? We could figure it out, probably. Have you
Been there, done
really?
that. Got the T-shirt.
Have you really? You fried an egg on the sidewalk?
Not on the sidewalk, but I've done a lot of shoots on the roof though.
Dude, was it so hot?
Yeah, one of the on the Sprite commercial, one of the shots was
Uh,
on the roof in the middle of summer. Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, I had
woof.
a fun shoot. We were doing a Georgia Lottery commercial in the
Mm.
middle of the summer on this football field next to the stadium or the tailgate area, which is pretty much like a football field near
Oh
the
yeah.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium downtown.
Uh-huh.
When I tell you it was 6 o'clock in the morning, it was already 80 degrees. And we had to do this setup where it's a sub rolls. I mean, they're making sub sandwiches, and so we got
Uh-huh.
like sliced cheeses,
Oh,
mayonnaise, meats, what have you. And this stuff is sitting out all day long. So by the time we got to wrap, man, the American sliced cheese is like a big old glob of yellow uh, goop. You
it's
know,
like
it was bad. It was real bad.
it's like kids, you think you've had fun playing with slime? Let me show you some slime. Okay. Try salad some American cheese with roast beef
Yeah.
in July.
Yeah, and I swear I lost about 5 to 10 pounds. My sister, God bless her soul, she was just miserable the
Dude,
whole time because she had to fight flies and everything else. So
dude.
I had on fly patrol.
And isn't it funny how, and we have about 8 minutes left on the Zoom, so I'm going to keep that in
Okay.
mind because I'm about to ask you our last question. But isn't it funny how I feel like those requests for the outdoor stuff always happens in July
Yeah,
or August, and you're
yeah,
like, could we do it any other time of the year? Literally, I would rather be freezing myself off because I can warm food up, but when
absolutely.
food melts, that is a problem. So it's inevitably always when I remember one time I was in a shoot in Nashville in July. We were shooting, it was like a pharmaceutical company. We were shooting
Yes.
outside in somebody's backyard. And Dietrich, I don't know why this was happening, but not only was the sun shining, they had these huge LED panels on as
Oh
well.
man.
So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, and this precious family, hair and makeup is losing their mind because they're just sweating everything off their,
Yeah,
and they want
yeah,
like, of course they want like fruit salad and salads. And I'm like, this is going to last about 2 seconds. This is going to turn brown. So
yeah,
there's so
yeah.
much heat happening. Like, it's just so funny. Yeah, if the Lord blesses us with an opportunity one day to direct a shoot, you and I can both be like, hey, we're not shooting outside in July, just so
I
we have
always
that
thought I
coverage.
always figured at this damn time with AI and everything, can't we just CGI all that outside stuff now? It makes
Can we
sense,
just
right?
CGI the fresh turkey?
Yeah,
Okay, Dimitri, you are such a joy, and I want to have you back on the pod because this has been so much fun.
Pretty pleased with cherries on top. Part two. Let's do it.
Yes, part two for sure, for sure. But I always end the podcast with a question, and this question is around beauty because I feel like every single stylist I encounter that is outstanding to me carries this gift of beauty. They just have an ability to make things beautiful, to see beauty in everyday objects, like you're talking about, like loving and being passionate about food and loving, just exploring new things about food.
Yeah.
So I always like to end the podcast with what does beauty mean to you, and what does beauty look like in your work?
What does beauty mean to me? That's a great question. Great question.
Mhm.
Well, one thing I will say is my vision of beauty, or and yours, and then your listeners, they're all subjective. I mean, everybody
Mhm.
has their, caliber of beauty. Some people, like the perfect or, perfectly shaped,
Mhm.
perfectly round, perfectly placed.
Mhm.
Me personally, being that subjective that I am, I celebrate imperfections. I love to see the imperfections in fruits and vegetables, what have you, and I celebrate them because I want to bring the realistic and make it as realistic as possible to the consumer. Ultimately, I want my food to look approachable, and which in turn means that I want spills. I don't mind crumbs, and splatters are perfect. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look great. It's gonna look perfect, but it's not gonna be perfected. I'm gonna celebrate the imperfections, and that's kind of been my thing for a long time. I didn't realize what it was until somebody told me. It's like, you like imperfect stuff, don't you? I was like, huh, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. And then I just focused on that point forward. Now, when I'm out looking for my vegetables or anything, of course, I'm always looking for that perfect looking product or the perfect starting point, because I'm a firm believer if you start off with a crappy product, you're ultimately going to end up with a crappy, finished product. But if you start off with finding the best looking product you can, even with the imperfection, what have you, you're more likely, you're going to end up with somewhat of a better looking product than you would if you didn't. But I always like to look at the characters and the curve, the shapes, the angles, the droplets of mist or water in certain places, having those drops, hanging off the bottle. So in my eyes, beauty can be a lot of things, but I like celebrating the imperfections, and that's what I think beauty is about.
I love that so much because I think sometimes there can be an unspoken assumption about food stylists, which is they only like things to look perfect. I recently had a call with clients and they just kept saying, I just don't want it to look perfect. I just want it to look. And I think that is not true. I think that a lot of us feel this way. We like the imperfection and what that brings to the table with beauty and food. So I love so much that you said that. And you can truly see that in your work. I'm not going to always say this on the pod, go visit this person's website, but I really, really would encourage you guys to visit Dimitri's website because he has some of the most epic shots of beautiful food that is imperfect, and it is stunning.
Wow.
And even him saying about the water droplets, there's a shot on his site that I want y'all to see, and it is of a Coca-Cola bottle.
Oh,
The
yeah.
cap is flying off, and there's steam coming from it, and it's exquisite. Just the water placement is exquisite. Another one, my son Nico often looks at the people's websites when I'm looking at them, and one of my favorite shots on your site is it's a banana yogurt parfait, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my word. And Nico is obsessed. He's like, Mommy, yummy, yummy, yummy. I want it. Like, sometimes he'll say, Can I get inside? And I'm like, No, you can't get inside my phone. But he really loved that one. And that just lines up so well with
Thank you
what you
so
do.
much. Thank you so much. And I will say, it's just not me. It's a collaboration. So it's a crew, that goes into it. The photographers have say so on as well. Because when we're interacting, ultimately I wanted to be something that everybody could look at to say, stick their chest out and say, yes, I was a part of this. And I wanted it to look like that. Or, wow, we didn't know it could look like that, So I'm not going to say that it's all me. My part is to put into it, but there are some other people involved as well. I can't take full credit for everything.
Oh, that's so kind. That is just like Dimitri to say it, but it is a team sport. Well, friend, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties.
It was my honor. Thank you so much, and looking forward to doing this very soon.
Come on, we'll talk some more. I love it.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Dimitri.
My pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Bye.